This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors and Locked On 49ers postcast. But today, the Giants started their 9-game road trip with a shutout win over the Nationals at National Park, and Landon Roupp was awesome. He tossed 6 shutout innings before the bullpen finished off the final 9 outs of this game. Got into some trouble there in that top of the 7th inning and was pulled for Randy Rodriguez. He left with 2 on, and Randy, with 0 outs, comes in and does a phenomenal job. Kind of wondering what you guys are thinking as far as who the Giants' best bullpen arm is right now, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. And despite not getting a runner into scoring position until the 7th inning, Giants scored 4 runs in the final 3 to lift them to this win. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed, and however you're tuning into the show, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And this one was like just flying by. This game was absolutely cruising until that 7th inning when it really started to slow down. Mackenzie Gore was really good for the Nationals today. He's only 2-5 on the season win-loss record. But if you look at what he's been doing, like he's on pace for to clear 200 strikeouts by a wide margin. And today he was doing it again, 9 strikeouts, only gave up 1 run when he came out of this game. He left a runner on base that ended up scoring. That was the first run of the game. Jung-Hoo Lee ended up coming around to score. But the Giants, man, they were just very good on the bump today. And Landon Roupp, we got to highlight his game today because he really was the reason that the Giants won today out there in Nationals Park. Started this 9-game road trip with a win, started off on the right foot, and he's been really good in the month of May. But today, Roupp went 6 scoreless innings, only gave up 5 hits, had 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So you want to see that strikeout to walk ratio not be 1-to-1, but two walks is not the end of the world for Landon Roupp. You want to see that number, I think, at 2 or 3 or less, and he's going to win most of those outings. He only needed 76 pitches to get through those 6+ innings, even though he wasn't able to record an out in that 7th inning. He did come back out, which I did think was a little bit questionable from Bob Melvin. I mean, Roupp had to sit for a very long time between the time he finished that 6th inning and the time he got to go back out there for the bottom of the 7th. I thought that they probably should have just gone to the bullpen. Roupp is not a guy who has pitched very deep into games in his career. In fact, his last outing where he went 6 innings, 6 scoreless innings against the A's, that was the first time that he had gone at least 6 innings without allowing a run. And guess what? He duplicated that effort today. Landon Roupp improves to 3-3 on the season. And I don't even really think that he had his best stuff right now. Like he did not have that curveball really working out there today. He kind of went away from it. He only threw 17 of them. He threw more changeups than curveballs, which you rarely see. The curveball has been his most used pitch of this entire season, threw a ton of sinkers. 42% of what he threw today was sinkers. But really the uptick was in that use of the changeup. And it was working pretty well. He was getting a lot of soft contact with that. Average exit velo on that changeup was just 83 miles an hour. The curveball was still pretty effective. The average exit velo on that was just 77 miles an hour. So it was still effective. It just didn't look like he had like the complete command of it like he usually does. Curveball is actually his most used pitch on the season. So interesting thing from Landon Roupp to go out there and get it done without his best pitch really working as effective as it normally is today. And I really liked what I saw from him as far as getting ground outs goes. He got 10 ground ball outs today. I keep telling you guys, he's kind of like a little baby Logan Webb, and he kind of showed that again today. Roupp now on the season, 3.63 ERA after today, and he's been very solid. Like, I know a lot of people have been kind of down on him. I've seen some people in the chat saying that they should, send him down to send him out of the starting rotation, put him down in the bullpen. But I don't think that that's the way to go with Landen Roupp. I've said from the jump, I really like the way that he profiles as a starting pitcher. He doesn't need to strike you out to win a game. And I really like guys that profile like that. It's Logan Webb-esque. It's a little bit of old school baseball. And Landen Roupp showed you today why you should have some faith in him. I mean, he's now in the month of May. He has been cruising, man. In this month as a whole, he's thrown 22 innings and his ERA is 1.64. That's very, very good. He's got a 14-4 strikeout to walk ratio, also very good. Only given up 2 home runs in those 4 starts. And he's only given up 4 earned runs in these last 4 starts as a whole. In the entire month of May, just 4 earned runs. So Landen Roupp really pitching very, very well since the calendar flipped to the month of May. And I expect him to keep rolling, man. Like, I think he's part of this, a big part of the youth movement that is happening with the Giants starting rotation right now. You see, obviously, Kyle Harrison back into the starting rotation with the injury to Justin Verlander. So you got 3 very young, promising arms for the Giants. And I've said it before. I think Hayden Birdsong is the best of the bunch, but I think Landen Roupp is probably the most consistent of those 3 guys. Roupp has shown you that he's got multiple ways to win a game. He can strike you out with that big, devastating curveball, or he can go out there and get groundouts like nobody's business with that sinker changeup combination like he did today. And I really enjoyed what I saw from him on the mound. It was fun watching him. He works fast, and he's a bulldog, man. He's going to go right after you. I mean, he threw 47 of his 76 pitches today for a strike. I really enjoyed watching him work, and it's just a fun time when Roupp's on the mound. That quick pace allows the defense to stay engaged, and the defense played pretty well behind him today. You saw a bunch of double plays by the Giants, and Landen Roupp doing a good job of inducing those ground balls when you needed them. So Giants do a good job of getting these double plays. He got 2 of them, I believe. There was one by Eric Miller later on in this game for 3 in total for the Giants. But very, very, very good outing for Landen Roupp. And with that, he gets today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I really enjoyed watching Roupp's day. I mean, he was just dominant out there. There was nothing about this Nationals offense that fazed him, and they got some good hitters at the top of this lineup. I know it's the Nationals. I know that they're not world beaters. They're 23-28 on the season, but this is a team that has been a thorn in the side of the Giants for the last couple of years. I have gone to plenty of Washington National games at Oracle Park, and it seems, I don't know why, that I think that's probably been the most attended matchup that I personally have gone to see live in the last 3 or 4 years. And it seems like every time I go, the Washington Nationals end up winning that series for some reason unbeknownst to me. Like, I do not understand what this team has on the Giants, but today they finally got over that little bit of a hump against the Nationals. And Landen Roupp, the biggest part of the reason why. And he couldn't have done it without some help from the offense, of course, which brings me to today's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the turning point in this one came in that 7th inning. And the Giants, I mean, they had struggled mightily at the dish before, and they ended up getting a lot of help from the Nationals, man. They got a lot of walks in that inning. Jung-Hoo Lee started off that inning with a walk. Matt Chapman then walked next. And Wilmer Flores comes up, hits into a double play. And I thought at that point, this is going to be a loss for the Giants. That was a huge double play with Wilmer at the dish. It was the first time the Giants had got a runner into scoring position the entire game after Matt Chapman walked. And it was very deflating, that double play. But then Willy Adames just muscles a ground ball right up the middle, a little dribbler, but had some heat on it, and it allows Jung-Hoo Lee to score from third. And it was what the Giants needed. It was the break they needed, and it was Willy Adames to deliver it, which he's had a very up and down season. He's had a lot of at-bats lately where he's gotten into good hitters counts and then chased pitches. I didn't really see him doing that too much today. And so he comes up with that big hit to get the Giants on the board. That's your turning point for today. But the Giants were not done, because they ended up picking up 3 consecutive walks right after that single. Casey Schmidt, Mikey Yaz, and Patrick Bailey walk all consecutively. And it finally, all those walks in the inning finally paid off for the Giants. They probably should have scored more in that inning, considering they had, 6 walks? 5 walks in that inning and the base hit. So you had 6 base runners. You would have liked to see more than just 2 runs. But the Giants, for Landen Roupp in the bullpen today, that was more than enough. You could argue that the turning point came in the half inning prior after you got a couple on, or excuse me, the half inning after, where you had a couple guys get on base. Garcia led off with a double. Josh Bell walked. And then Randy Rodriguez came in for Landen Roupp and shut down that inning with quickness. I mean, they got he struck out the next guy, Hassel, and then got the next batter to ground into a double play to get out of the inning. So Randy Rodriguez was phenomenal today. We got to talk about this bullpen a little bit later on in the show. We'll do that after the break. But I mean, I really am just enamored with what Randy Rodriguez is doing this season. He's been absolutely clutch in these situations where he comes in and mop-up duty, where he's coming in the middle of an inning with some inherited runners, and he seems to always get out of it. He's been so damn good that I actually picked him up on my fantasy baseball team, which is wild to pick up a reliever who's not a closer. If you play fantasy baseball, that's a pretty wild situation, because those guys usually don't have much value, but he's got all sorts of value to the Giants. And he's been paying off for them in these situations all season long. I think he might be the best arm of anyone coming out of this Giants bullpen right now. The Giants ended up tacking on a couple more runs in that 8th inning. They had they scored on a wild pitch, and they ended up getting a Wilmer Flores single with 2 runners on to score that first run of that inning. So the Giants win 4-0 over the Nationals. They start off this 9-game road trip on the right foot after kind of sputtering in that final game of the homestand. So this is good to see. I'm encouraged by what I saw from the defense, from the pitching staff, especially the bullpen. And we got to get into the bullpen next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I mean, I've been telling you guys all postseason long since the Warriors got eliminated, OKC. Put your money on them. Get on your FanDuel account and get some money on OKC before your return gets even worse than it already currently is. I know it's a chalk pick. I know they're the favorites to win it all, but they're gonna. I mean, there's nobody that's going to stand in the way of this team. And speaking of the OKC Thunder, did you guys see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wearing a Giants hat in the postgame presser? I mean, is this guy a Giants fan? Is it a fashion statement? I don't know. We need to do some digging into this. But for FanDuel, man, if you're new, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today, Landen Roupp was dominant. The offense scored just enough to get the win, and the bullpen came in and shut the door. And it kind of got me thinking about who is the best arm out of this bullpen right now? I mean, if you had to pick one, let me know in the chat. Who do you think is the best arm coming out of the pen for the Giants? I mean, if you force me to make a decision, gun to the head kind of situation, I'm going Randy Rodriguez, man. I know he's not the closer on this team. I know Camilo Doval has had a phenomenal season. And Ryan Walker, even though the ERA doesn't reflect it, he is a very solid closer at the back end of this bullpen. But for me, it's Randy Rodriguez, man. This guy has been so dominant all season long. Like I just love what he has as far as like weapons in his arsenal go. I mean, he is 3-0 this season. He's got a .83 ERA at 21 games, 21.2 innings pitched, and 31 strikeouts. His whip, .69. That's nice for a couple different reasons, but Randy Rodriguez, just mowing dudes down. I mean, he's got so much movement on his secondary pitches in such a wide range between his fastball and what it tops out at, and what he uses with his slider. I mean, he's averaging 97.3 miles an hour on that four-seamer and 85.2 on that slider. So more than 10 miles an hour difference between his primary and secondary pitch. And man, that slider just has some crazy late movement to it. It's not like the most intense slider I've ever seen. Like Ryan Walker's sweeper moves a hell of a lot more than Randy Rodriguez's slider, but it's the way that it moves. It's got this crazy late bite to it, and it just looks unhittable when he's locked in. He does a great job of starting it in the zone and having it fall out and making guys chase. He's been so good this season. He is, in my opinion, been in the most pressure-packed situations of any Giants pitcher. Yeah, they're not using him to close out games, but they're bringing him in. He's the primary guy that Bob Melvin trusts. When you got like multiple guys on base in scoring position and less than 2 outs, he's going to Randy Rodriguez if he's got to go to the pen. Like, that is the number one option for Bob Melvin in probably the most pivotal point of these games. He has been so damn good. I think it's Randy Rodriguez that has been the best arm out of the bullpen. And that's not, I mean, there's been so many good Giants bullpen pitchers this season. I mean, you got a ton of guys with a very, very low ERA on the year. I mean, Eric Miller has been very good. And I mean, all these guys have actually been very dominant this season. Ryan Walker's had his issues, but I mean, you got Eric Miller out there. You got Camilo Doval out there, who's been very, very, very good. And ultimately, though, if you're making me pick, I think it's Randy Rodriguez. That's that's been the best Giants reliever of all of them. I trust him the most. I love the fastball life that he has. I mean, he chases guys down with that fastball. He's got no problem coming into the zone and just saying, here's my best fastball. I bet you can't hit it. And most of the time, opposing hitters can't. So, I mean, Randy Rodriguez, we got to give him some love. He does not get nearly enough credit for what he's been doing this season. As I said, 0.83 ERA. Had a great outing today. Struck out that first batter with 2 runners on, and then got a ground ball double play to get out of the inning. So Randy Rodriguez, if you're asking me, is the best bullpen arm. I'm seeing a couple other guys in the chat are one of our everydayers. Man, I'm stumbling over my words today. One of our everydayers, DG, saying Tranquilo Camilo is his pick. But man, I really, really do enjoy watching Randy Rodriguez work out of the bullpen in these pressure-packed situations. He just seems so calm and collected. Maybe he's going to steal that Tranquilo moniker from Camilo. We gotta come up with like a R word for Randy Rodriguez, like relaxed Randy, but that doesn't sound as good as Tranquilo Camilo. So we got to workshop some nicknames for our guy Randy Rodriguez. He has just been so damn good. We got to give him some love and just appreciate what he's been doing for this Giants bullpen, because I mean, without him, I mean, Eric Miller's also been very good in these inherited runner situations, but I don't think that it's I think that what Randy Rodriguez has done has been super, super, super impressive. I mean, I can't overstate enough. Sub-1 ERA when he's coming in plenty of inherited runner situations, and very rarely does he allow those inherited runners to score. It's not like he's coming in and letting that guy who's standing on second base already score, and it's not affecting his ERA. No, he's like not letting guys score, period. You see him constantly getting dapped up by the veterans on the staff. I remember a moment from earlier this season when he came in and cleaned up some runners on base for Justin Verlander, and he came back into the pen, and came back to the dugout, and Verlander was waiting on the top step for him, give him a hug and dapped him up. And that's the kind of confidence that instilling that kind of confidence goes a long way for a young guy like Randy Rodriguez. And I'm just very excited about what he's been doing. And not only him, but this entire Giants bullpen has just been so good. I mean, this month they're 9th in ERA in all of Major League Baseball. But I think for the season, they're still number 1. Last time I checked, they were still the best bullpen in all of baseball ERA wise. I got to double check that before I just throw that out there, but they're one of the best bullpens in all of baseball ERA wise for sure. And I mean, they're nothing to sneeze at, man. This month they had 56 bullpen strikeouts coming into today's game, only allowed 24 walks. So it's like, I mean, it's a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. It's pretty good. And a batting average against of just 210. So, I mean, this bullpen, very, very, very dominant. And I think that they're going to continue this momentum all season long. I do not see any sign of this bullpen falling off. By the way, with Kyle Harrison moving into the starting rotation, you're back to only one lefty out of the pen. It's Eric Miller, and you have Tristan Beck called up from AAA to fill out that final bullpen spot. I like Tristan Beck, man. He had a very scary arm injury last year. He was able to overcome, and he's hopefully going to get some spots. I think he's got some great stuff as a pitcher. He's, Giants have used him as a starter a couple times, but I think he does profile best as a reliever, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see him sometime in the next couple days. It's all the time that we got for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you tomorrow as the Giants face the Nationals in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.